Boom, what's up you guys? It's Royce Jacob, and welcome back to the channel. C3 AI Inc., a company and a stock that we've been discussing for years now on the channel, and also a valued member of the Waves portfolio, announces their earnings report on Wednesday, May 28th. In this video, we're going to do a little preview of this earnings report, and then I also want to dive into the charts to talk some TA and upside price targets, because evidently I am bullish / optimistic about the potential that this earnings report holds. And I think that the stock could, again, clearly be climbing higher as a result of this earnings report, especially given its underperformance as of late. Okay, so we're going to kick off the video by going over this article. Little lengthy, it'll probably take a few minutes to read over, but it is comprehensive, and I want to do at least a solid preface for, again, the earnings report that is coming up. And then I want to give you guys just my opinion on, maybe not my opinion necessarily, but just kind of my stance as to why I'm bullish on this upcoming earnings report. And I think that the surprise factor favors the upside as opposed to the downside. And to do that, we're going to be talking about the recent earnings report from one of another company that is near and dear to our hearts over here at Waves Cap, and that is Palantir. Okay, so that's the video, you guys. Excited to jump into it. Let me know in the comments below what you think. I mean, I'm assuming you're only watching this if you're bullish on C3, or if you're holding C3, if you're trading it, whatever. Maybe you're short it, whatever. Let me know what you think about this earnings report. Let me know what you think about the state of AI, and if you have anything to add to this, give the video a like, for obvious reasons. And if you guys want to know exactly which call options I'm holding on C3 in the Waves portfolio, along with literally every other position in my portfolio, there are, I think, 10 or 11 of them in the options portfolio alone right now, along with my daily trade alerts, my daily newsletters, my daily comprehensive just updates on all the names within the portfolio on the charts. It's going to be the first link in the description of this video. It's also in the pinned comments. My complete portfolio, daily trade alerts, email newsletters, exactly as it states. You get everything that this box here entails. $15 a month, $40 for every 3 months. Try it free for 7 days. Just peace out. Just cancel if you want to. The reason I do free trials is because I'm confident in the product I provide. And, I trust you will enjoy it if you choose to join the team. So if you do, welcome. We look forward to having you at Waves Cap and within the portfolio. It's my life's work, so I really take pride in that. Appreciate it if you join. Again, if not, no worries. I hope you gain some value from this video here. Okay, so C3 holds key level as earnings loom. Is AI stock a buy now? Good old ticker symbol AI. C3 has tested its support at the 50-day line as base emerges, as building a base with a buy point of 2470. Fourth quarter results are due May 28th. Is C3 a stock? This is by VR. I'll let you read that for yourself, of investors.com. Okay. Analysts pulled by FactSet foresee a 24% increase in sales to 107.8 mil, but they also anticipate a loss of 20 cents per share, which would be wider than a loss of 11 cents per share a year earlier. C3 AI makes software applications equipped with AI that can be configured for different purposes. In March, the company said its offerings were available on Amazon.com's web services marketplace for the U.S. intelligence community. The U.S. intelligence community is an AWS digital catalog of software products from vendors that specialize in supporting government customers. DeepSeek hits C3 AI stock. So we're just going over some, really reflecting on the major events over the past year or so. And again, that leads into the upcoming earnings report. Shares dropped 5% on January 27th after news that DeepSeek, one of China's artificial intelligence model, I tried to summarize that. China's DeepSeek cost just a fraction of its U.S. counterparts, that triggered a sell-off in AI stocks. But the stock reversed higher the next day amid news that enterprise AI software maker had won an awardable status as a vendor for the Department of Defense's TradeWinds marketplace, the Pentagon's framework for sourcing, funding, and developing solutions to challenges that emerge from AI and machine learning applications, which this provides a little clarity as to why I'm going to feature, I just want to give you guys my take on this in a little bit, okay? So Trump's infrastructure plans lift AI stock. On the second day of his presidency, President Trump revoked a rule that required AI developers to declare the results of their safety tests to the government before making them public. While that may not have a direct bearing on C3, the pro-AI move lifted the stock. Shares also rose after Trump announced Stargate, a $500 billion plan to build AI infrastructure. In November, shares rose after Goldman Sachs' 2025 forecast pointed to what it calls a phase 3 shift in the AI revolution, which software and services companies generate revenue from AI applications. These offered investors longer-lasting growth and relied less on economic expansion or interest rates, Goldman said. Earlier phases focused on AI infrastructure. CEO warns of an AI bubble. On December 18th, shares fell amid CEO Thomas Siebel's warning about an AI bubble. Shares fell 7% and headed even lower the next day after an analyst downgrade, falling 10%. Siebel noted in an interview on CNBC that the markets were over-evaluating the AI technologies. There is a bubble. When there are technological breakthroughs, the market tends to overvalue them, he said. He added that it will correct at some point. Okay, we've seen a very, very meaningful correction, so let's hope that's behind us. Meanwhile, KeyBank Capital Markets analyst Eric Heath downgraded the stock to underweight. You can read that. Microsoft Cloud partnership. This is, in my opinion, still the most bullish aspect of... I should say this piece of news is what really reverberates through my mind when I think about why I'm bullish on this stock and why I remain bullish on the stock and why I remained, again, heavily positioned within my portfolio, not only with common shares, but with call options again. Okay, so on November 19th, the AI play announced that Microsoft will extend its partnership and provide cloud computing services through Azure to the artificial intelligence company. AI stock soared at 24.2%, its best day since May 30th of 23, when it rocketed 33%. Microsoft and C3 AI entered into a partnership in 2018 to provide enterprise AI services to several companies. Shares of AI stock got a lift early November after election results triggered the Trump rally. Okay, so this also plays into something that I want to say before I even say it is entirely speculative, but I've been saying in the newsletters, this is something that I said for a long time, and this is another, again, under the surface speculative factor that has made me very, very bullish on C3AI in the past, and that is the fact that I think that as far as likelihood of companies getting acquired, I think they're up in the top percentile of companies that could potentially get acquired. And the reason for that is because they are currently worth, like, trading at under $3 billion. So they're sub $3 billion as of today. They have partnerships with Microsoft. They're in a booming industry where a lot of these megaliths like Microsoft, again, Microsoft's worth what, $3+ trillion. Their valuation is 1/1000th of Microsoft, right? So if Microsoft just wanted to turn this deal into a true partnership, just take C3 under their wing and acquire them, that wouldn't make a dent in Microsoft's overall market cap, even if it was an all-stock deal like this. It makes sense to me for Microsoft. Like, why make deals with them if you can just acquire them and scale it up with your existing infrastructure? So again, entirely speculative. On top of that, Thomas Siebel's the CEO of C3, sold his first company to Oracle many, many moons ago. So that shows that he's already open and vetted in making in dealing with in selling a company and dealing with just the acquisition process overall. He's open to the idea of that because he's done it before. Okay, so just wanted to say that's arguably one of the primary reasons that I'm a long-term holder of C3 is just because at some point down the road, I do think they're gonna get acquired. Close it out and then we'll jump. I'll give you guys this preface real quick. I'll just give you guys my rationale here, and then we'll dive into the charts. All right. So C3 has a relative strength rating of 20. IBD recommends focusing on stocks with an RSI of 80. It's not really important. Its November rally helped the stock outperform the S&P. Stock soared 51%, well above S&P's 6-month monthly gain, but in December, shares dropped 7%. S&P fell 2.5. In 2024, AI stock gained 20, compared with the S&P's return of 23%. So again, this is and even to this point, the primary reason I wanted to read that is just to highlight C3's overall underperformance relative to not only the greater markets, the S&P, but to other names within the AI sector. So that leads me to believe that, again, the surprise factor, given the stock's just poor performance, I mean, we're trading at levels that we were trading at like the lows of like throughout the entirety of 2023 and 2024. That's where we're sitting right now before C3 AI like popped off from the initial AI wave in the first place, like when we started covering it back in, December of 2022. Okay. So Stock been slugging along, underperforming most, not just AI stocks, but the entire market. And I think that if there is any inkling of promise in this earnings report, that could catalyze a massive move for the stock. And I'll talk about those upside price targets right after this. So Palantir and C3 AI, very different companies. Palantir, objectively, I don't want to say objectively, in my opinion, in the opinion of probably most people, a better company, right? Larger, more contracts, more deal flow, probably a better product, bigger team. You name an attribute, they're probably winning in that race. But Palantir also trades at a massive premium and a multi-$100 billion market cap, while C3 still, trades at these low levels. So Palantir, the reason I wanted to include it in this video is because the stock fell following their recent earnings report, as this title implies. But the earnings report itself was freaking amazing. Like the stock, it's just the fact that the stock has done so incredibly well that the earnings report had, even though it was really good, still saw a little sell off in the stock, and the stock has since recovered since then, pretty much. So, again, Palantir, C3, different companies, roughly in the same realm though. As far as comparables go, if you're talking about a company similar to AI and like the trajectory on the product that they provide generally, Palantir is one of those companies. Palantir and C3 AI are more similar than even most AI companies, okay? So the fact that Palantir crushed it leads me to believe that if Palantir is still on the come up, then C3 is probably following that general trajectory again. Although the product, contracts, leadership all make a massive difference, obviously. I think the general trajectory of the deal flow of AI, of interest in these products that these companies provide, is going up. That's what Palantir is conveying. And therefore, I think that C3 has a good chance of just following that general trend. Okay, so technically speaking, going into this report, I'll just cover what's kind of glaring you in the face, and it's this potential inverse head and shoulders pattern. Okay, we have this massive sell-off here that lasted from February 10th to March 3rd, so 3 weeks sell-off, very staggering, where C3 fell just over the course of that period of time, fell 40%, so a massive correction. But that's nice because it creates a higher price target or higher potential price target for this inverse head and shoulders pattern. Okay, shoulder, head, other shoulder, kind of janky, but still, this to me looks like a head and shoulders pattern. And this, I wouldn't be surprised to see these targets pan out in the slightest if C3 presents a strong report. Okay, so first, profit target if C3 presents a strong report. Okay, and I think this could happen very, very soon, sooner than later. First target is going to be about $29, okay, give or take. That is the prior low that is yet to be retested on the overall downtrend. So prior floors become new ceilings. That's TA 101 right there. From there, my first inverse head and shoulders target, comes into play. Okay, from there, we have this region, which is also an untested previous low on a much shorter term downtrend. But this plays nicely into what I think will be if someone's trading the head and shoulders, novice traders are going to trade it here and take profits here. Advanced traders are going to front run the crowd, as I always say, and probably take profits around this 31 to 31.50 area, okay? And I will personally be taking pretty meaningful profits on ones and if we see that. But it's entirely possible, especially, again, if AI stocks continue to gain traction, which I do think they will. If C3 presents a strong report, which I do, then that means we could come up as high as the absolute point of this inverse head and shoulders pattern, which would be about $36. But I will take significant profits once and if we see 34.70, okay? I don't want to say best case scenario because crazy things can happen, but an optimistic scenario is going to be a test of this line of long-term conservative resistance. Have a members only YouTube video covering that if you want to join the YouTube membership with all those members exclusive videos like yesterday's Waves Plays, which I make every weekend. Hit the join button below this video. That's only $5 a month if you're interested. Anyway, so we have conservative long-term resistance and absolute long-term resistance. Again, have a Trader Tips members only video covering that if you're interested. But from there, that is going to be my targets. Keep in mind, you guys, back in December of this year, so it's crazy. That's already 6 months ago. 2025 is flying by. But 6 months ago, C3 was trading at these levels at $44-$45. So if this report is strong, I'm not saying it's going to be a straight line up that way, but I wouldn't be surprised at all to see C3 climb to those levels. And that would take us back up, that's roughly a 2x from here, $3 billion market cap. That would just take us up to a sub $6 billion market cap, which still in the grand scheme of things ain't that much. If C3 gets an acquisition offer, if any of those speculative things that I was talking about earlier pan out, this stock could go absolutely ballistic, and I wouldn't be surprised to see, potentially $100 plus like we have in the past. Okay. So that's the video, you guys. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you as a member of the portfolio group in the comments, in the first link in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Until then, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.